All right, so I've completely given up on Hollywood ever making another good X-Men movie again. So now I'm the CEO, and this is how my X-Men series is going to go. First, we start with our classic team. No Wolverine. We're not doing him yet, but we got to do a classic team. And you know what? I'm going to replace Angel with Storm, just for some variety and to mix it up a little bit with a fan favorite because this is the adaptation we're talking about. But I'm thinking of a Magneto and Sentinel-based plot, something that really reintroduces the X-Men and the whole themes about like the bigotry that they face and how all humans hate them and everything, and introducing ideas like that and the characters. And now, as far as comics chronologically, I'm going a little bit out of order and going with God Loves Man Kills right next, and picking now to introduce Wolverine, maybe other characters like Kitty Pryde. And it'd be really cool to dive in deeper on the themes that the first movie started, and going more with like non-human passing mutants, like the Morlocks, and diving into that storyline. And it'd be really cool to see Storm fight Callisto for leadership of the Morlocks in that one, and that's a whole thing that could tie together. And for my third movie, now we get into the Phoenix. And notice I said Phoenix, not Dark Phoenix, because the Phoenix and the Dark Phoenix are two separate things. But here I would adapt Giant Size X-Men. Like I said, we're going a little bit out of order, but the Giant Size X-Men, and then the mission that leads Jean to become the Phoenix. And then I think it would be dope to start including characters like Nightcrawler and Banshee, and even Moira McTaggart for the ball knowers out there. And then we can delve into the coveted Dark Phoenix saga. You see, like that's the thing about the Dark Phoenix that most adaptations don't get right, is that it's all about build-up and knowing the characters that are going through these things. Because the thing about the Dark Phoenix is that it's not just this entity that possesses Jean, because Jean and the Phoenix are really one and the same, always destined to come together, and that is her mortal self living life and experiencing it as a normal person, kind of. Because the thing about the Phoenix is that it's not just a divine, godlike being, it is a feminine energy, godlike being. And that's the thing that's so tragic about the Dark Phoenix saga, is that it takes that divine feminine energy and corrupts it with like deep psychological torture. So I would introduce the Hellfire Club, just like in the comic itself, who has a whole team of truly evil, devious mutants that are all like bent on power, and they're super wealthy and evil and into BDSM stuff, but that's besides the point. And through one of their members' powers, Mastermind, they corrupt Jean's mind and basically groom her inside of her own mind to become this leader of this cult, the Hellfire Club. And then when she finally breaks free, like she's not even really herself, so she just goes out into space and then blows up a planet. And then here comes this alien empire that owned the planet, who now come and want retribution. And then in the end, without risking any more further death or all-out galactic war, Jean decides to sacrifice herself, and that would be the end of that movie. But